Hey everybody, Heather here. Thanks for coming to color with me. Today we are going to be doing this super cute Stampin' Bella image called Mimi the Chick Misses You. Isn't she super adorable? Love her. And this image also comes with a cute little sentiment here, so you get that with your card kit. I will put a link down in the description box to the card kit and the supplies I used, so you can head over to the store and check those out. And while you're there, browse the other stuff. Always make sure to hit the clearance section because I'm constantly sticking some new stuff in there. Also, if you have a question, make sure to leave me a comment and I will get back to you on that. So I've already stamped my image on Neenah 80-pound solar white cardstock with Memento Tuxedo black ink. So let's color. So let's start out by outlining our image, and for that today we're going to use B_0 and our colorless blender. And I'm just going to start with my B_0 and I'm just going to go all the way around my Mimi. There's a quick little outline. And I'm not worried if I get some on her because it's a light color, so you'll go right over that. And where her glasses are right here, I'm going to fill that in and then go around the outside of those. And we're just going to work our way, and there's a little dot of space right there between her little bow or the top of her hat, so I want to make sure to fill that in. And again, on this side, I'm going to fill in this space where her glasses and her face are. And we're going to go all the way back down to the bottom. And if you do this first, if you get some on her and you want to erase it, it's not a problem. So now I'm going to take my colorless blender and I'm just going to circle around on the edge and just blend that out a little bit. Just soften it. You hardly see it after it's dry anyway, but this will soften the edges just a little tiny bit. Now let's give her a little something to stand on, and for that we're going to use W3, W1, and W00. I'm going to start with my W3. Let's go ahead and just get right underneath of her shoes. And then I always bring my line up past the bottom of her feet. So we're going to go up here just a little bit. We're just going to give it a little brush like that. Now I'm going to go with my W1. And I'm going to go right over the edges of that last color. And then I'm going to add a little bit more with my W00. And then I always like to go back with my darkest color, which was W3, and add in my shadows right next to her a little bit. Let's hop right in and color Mimi right now so that in case I mess it up, we can start over. So for her body, we're going to use YR 23, 21, and 20. And then for her beak, I'm going to use YR 27 and 12. So let's go ahead and just do her beak real quick since, it's a little bitty thing. So I'm going to start with my YR 27. And we're just going to give this half of her nose a little bit of color. And then I'm going to take YR 12 and fill that little space in. And I actually want it to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to take my YR 27 again and give it a little dab. And then fill in again with my YR 12. Okay, so now let's go down here and do her, and for that we're going to use YR 23, 21, and 20. And I'm going to start with my YR 23. And let's start on her hand right here first. I'm just going to give the bottom of her little hands a little brush of color. And we'll turn it this way a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. And then I'm going to grab YR 21. And then I want to fill it in with my YR20. And I'm going to go over it a second time, so I'm going to start again with my YR23. And then YR21. And then YR20 to fill it in. Okay, and then we're going to go up here and we're going to do her face. So again, we're going to start with our YR23. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to go straight across underneath of her hat. And we're going to bring that color down. Let me turn a little bit here. And bring this color right down along here. And I'm going to stop down at the at the end of her collar right here. But her glasses are kind of sitting here, so I'm going to make this side have a little bit of color like that. Then I'm going to go with my YR21, and so I want to brush along the edge of this line here first. And bring the shadow out here underneath of her glasses a little bit more. And I'm going to go with YR20. And just add a little bit more. And then I'm going to start over with my YR23. I'm going to go right next to her hat. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller line. Right back over here to the end of her collar. And then I'm going to go with YR21. And I'm going to pull it past all the colors that I've laid down so far. I'm going to go with YR20. And let's brush right along the edge of this side and around her eye right here. Okay, now I'm going to start over again with my YR23. And then YR21. And then YR20 to fill it in. Okay, so this time, on my third time around, I'm going to come back from this side because I wanted this side of her glasses to be lighter and fill in this section. So it's got way lighter on this side than it is compared to this side. So now I'm going to take my colorless blender and I want to add a little bit of highlights. So I'm going to, right above her nose, I'm going to give it a little bit of a dip. So I'm just going to draw in a little hook like that. And then over here I'm going to give her a little bit of a highlight on her brow. So you can see it showing up there. And now I'm going to take my colorless blender and I'm just going to make some dots. So let's do down here on her hands first. And I'm just dotting around onto her hand. Let me do a little bit more. And then we're going to go up here and do the same thing with her face. I'm just going to dot, 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 dot all over her face. And they're starting to show up, but I want them to be a little bit darker. So I'm going to go back and maybe smush my pen down a little bit more so that my dots are a little bit wider. And I got a little bit on her R right here, so I'm going to erase that. Okay, my dots are showing up again, so let's do, I think I'll add a little bit more down here. And I'm liking that, so I'm going to leave it just like that. Let's go down here and do her shirt next, and for that I'm going to use YG 67, 63, and 61. I'm going to start with my YG 63. Let's just go right along the back of her shirt and down her sleeve. And I'm also going to fill in this little bitty section back here. And then where her arms are touching the front of her shirt, I'm going to give that a little dab. And again, I want to go down this side of her shirt, down to her sleeve, and then fill in this little tiny part that's the back. And then I'm going to grab YG 63. And I just want to soften that edge, so I'm going to brush right over the top of it. And I plan on doing it again, so I'm not worried if it's completely blended. And I better do it on this side of the strap a little bit. So maybe I should have added some YG 67 on the bottom of her sleeve right here. And then take my 63 and brush over the top of that. And now I'm going to go with YG 61. And now I'm going to start over with my YG 67. Right along her shirt. And down the side. I think I'll brush this side up just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to grab YG 63. Same for this side, brush this side a little bit more. And I'm going to add some on this side where her shirt is. And then I'm going to fill it in with my YG 61. And this sleeve right here. And I got a little bit of a line, so let's go over here and do this side a little bit more. For her collar, let's use W2 and W0. So I'm going to start with my W2, and I just want to give a little bit of shadow around the corner here. And then W0. And then I'm going to leave this space in here white. If it drives you crazy that there's a little bit of line there, take your colorless blender and just lightly flick over the edges. Next, let's work on her skirt and her hat. And for that, we're going to use BG 78, 75, 72, and 70. Let's go ahead and start up here on her hat. And for that, I'm going to start with my BG 78. And I'm going to do down the side of the bottom here. And then I want to go underneath this little rim. So I've just got a little cuff there. That. And then I'm going to go down, let's do the back of this little knot she's got at the top. And I also want to go down the outside of her hat. And then I'm going to add some little curly cues, or some circles here. So let's go like that, and then there's kind of a little bump out right here. I'm going to take my bump out over like this. And then we're going to go down to this next bump out, and let's go like that. Then BG75. Go right along this edge. And then we want to add more to this edge. And of course our little bow up here. And then I want to go over each of these lines I just made. Now I'm going to go with BG72. Right, now I'm going to start over with BG78, and I'm going to add that down here again underneath of the rim of her hat. And along this edge. And then BG75. And then BG72. And then I took my BG70 and just went over the entire area. And I think I'll make my lines in her hat just a little bit darker, so I'm going to go with my BG78 again. And just draw those back on a little bit more. And then let's drop down here into her skirt. So again, I'm going to start with BG78. And we're going to go right next to that. And let's do this pocket over here. And then I want to do just a little bit in here next to her body where her arms are. And then let's do, of course, I guess I better do underneath of her arms too. So I'm just using the tip of my pen to just give it a little bit of color. And come back down here by her little backpack. And then for each of these little pleats, I went up like this and gave each one a little dark shadow. And then BG75, so we want to add a little bit of that. And let's go underneath this arm over here. And down this side. And I'm not being too careful because I know I'm already going to have to go over it again. So we're just going to brush each over the top of each one of these lines in the middle. And now BG72. And then again, I'm going to start with my BG78. And we're going to work our way around. And BG75 again. And then BG72. And we're just going to fill that all the way in. And then I'm going to go over it with my BG70, like I did for the hat. And I want to add my pleats back in again darker, so I've got my BG78. Next, let's work on the red areas. So it's going to be the alternate stripes on the tie and her wristwatch. So I'm going to use R37, R35, and R32. I'm going to start with R37, and let's go start with her knot right here. And then I want to pick alternate stripes on her tie. And then as long as I got this out, let's just go down here and do her socks. And now I'm going to go to a wristwatch too. I'm going to grab R35. And then R32 to fill it in. So that leaves us with her book bag and her boots, and for that we're going to use E44, E43, E42, and E41. Let's go down here and do her boots first. I'm going to start with E44. I'm going to go right along the back of this boot and along the sole. And then I want to give her ankle a little bit of an indentation, so I'm going to bring my pin in right there. And then for this side, I'm going to go along the sole. And again, up the back of her boot. And I'm going to give that a little dip. I'm going to grab E43. And then E42. And then E41 to go over the entire thing. and fill in that little spot that's left. And I'm also going to use this to do the soles of the boots. Okay, now we're going to go up here and work on her book bag. So again, I'm going to start with E44. And I'm going to go right along the edge of the backpack here, or the flap on her pack or purse. And right along, clear over to here. Let's go underneath the whole flap. And then for this side, I want to bring this color in a little bit more, so I'm going to brush like this. And then I want to go down the back of this and around to the bottom here a little bit. And I want to give it a little wrinkle right here, so I'm going to take my pen and go like that and add the little wrinkle in there. Maybe I better zoom in a little bit. And that's a little bit better. Okay, so for this side, we're going to do right here where it bends in. And then I want to go down the front of the flap, and I'm going to, again, make me some little dips there. And I want to bring this color around to this side. And I'm also going to do this side with some of those, add some dips in there. So let's do, how about right here, and right here, and then right here. Okay, now I'm going to grab E43. And we just want to go over each of those lines. Same for this side. Down this side of her back. I'm going to grab E42, and I want to fill in the back section of her backpack. And I'm going to go over it again so I'm not worried that it's not blended all the way. And then I'm going to take E41 to the front. Okay, and then I'm going to start over, so I'm going to grab my E44. I'm just going to add some more dark back in here. And if you liked it the first time, you don't have to add more. I just wanted to make mine a little bit darker. Now I'm going to grab E43. Whoops. And go on to this side. And then E42, we're going to fill in this little spot down here. And add some color up here. And then again, I'm going to take my E41 and go over the entire thing. I'm going to go right over that button too. And then she's got a little piece over here that's kind of a strap. I'm going to color that in with this color. Now for the handle up here, or for her strap, we're going to use E44. E43, E42, and then I'm going to go over the entire thing with E41. So here is our finished Mimi, the Chick Misses You. So I did, at the end, I put some glossy accents here on her glasses. And here, let me get the card. Maybe you can see it there. I don't know if you can see. Oh, there's some little bit of shine there. But I put some glossy accents on her glasses, and I didn't do anything else. I didn't put any, I guess I could have put some sparkles on her wristwatch or maybe on her socks or something. But I didn't do that. And around my sentiment here, I thought it was a little too white, so I added some walnut stain distress ink to that. But this is Mimi, the Chick Misses You. Forgot what it's called there for a minute. If you want this kit, just hit the link down at the bottom in the description bar and head over to the store and grab one before they're gone. Remember, they are limited, so there's not a bunch. If you like the video, hit the like button so I know that you like this kind of image and to make more of such things or stamping Bellas such as that. And remember, if you have a question, just leave me a comment and I'm happy to get back to you on that. And if you're not a subscriber, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel. That way, every time you log into YouTube, you will get to see all the new videos. They'll just pop up for you. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.